Assalamu alaikum. Today in today's lecture, we are going to cover up chapter number 14. It's all about hedging. And I would say that hedging is the secret weapon of band 8 plus player. So first of all, we will simply define what actually hedging is. If any of the writer who writes and his language is quite strong, so it seems like when the reader he reads uh, and the writer he sounds more 100% certain clear. So the IELTS examiner he doesn't like that. IELTS examiner he loves when any of the writer he writes he keeps his language clear, quite soft. So to soften your language, we use clear hedging to soften our claim, our language clear. For example, this is quite harsh. It's 100% that if I say X is Y, but if you try to say that X may be Y, so now the language is quite soft. Or you can say X tends to be Y. So X tend to be Y or X may be Y. It's much better than sounding 100% certain like X is Y. For example, here's a practical example, what I have written here. Imagine you're a scientist and what if you claim, if you say that all smokers get cancer, all smokers get cancer. So now it's 100% clear, 100% your claim is 100% that all smokers get cancer. Now you are harsh with your words. You can't be that much harsh with your words. Why? Because if you write all smokers get cancer, you're 100% certain. You sound more 100% certain. And what examiner he doesn't like that. So instead of writing smoking causes cancer, what you can write? Smoking is associated with higher risk of cancer. So now this one, smoking is associated with high risk of cancer, is much more better than saying that smoking causes cancer. Uh, we want to study clear some simple formula for that. For example, here we want to take one of the example with unhedged. If something that is unhedged, if it's unhedged, so always writer he tries to use strong verb. And then if you try to use strong verb plus, that's absolute claim. For example, technology destroys relationships. Now, this is your 100% claim. So do you think that technology destroys relationship? Is this 100% certain? No, we cannot claim. You cannot claim that, yes, technology destroys relationships. Instead of that, what if you go with a hedge sentence? So, hedge sentence can be like in this way that there would be a subject plus hedging device. You can use hedging device. If you try to use hedging device, so it's softer, clear your claim. Now it's an absolute claim, but now here it's a softer claim. For example, technology may, instead of saying destroys, you can say may destroys. May, after may we use base form of verb, so may destroy. Technology may negatively affect a certain relationship. Now let's take example here. Instead of saying like destroy, it's a very strong verb. Instead of that, we can say affect, negatively affect. Now, even if I say negatively affect, I'm a bit more harsh with my words. What if I say may negatively affect? What if I say relationships? So now you talk about all relationships. So how can you claim that all relationships? Instead of that, you can say certain relationships. There are certain relationships that technology can harm it. Technology may harm. Technology may harm certain relationships. So now, if you just compare both, if there is a student and he writes in this way, so this is a 100% absolute claim, which examiner he doesn't like it. If you want to go with a hedging one, so the hedging sentence can be in this way, and this is what examiner he wants you. So you go from clear, you go from I'm certain, like here, you go from where? I'm suggesting this is likely. Now, you just go for suggestion. You don't say that it is like this. Clear? So, based on evidence, that small change is what separates band 6 clear overconfident from band plus 8 academically clear precise one. So this is a very, very like, I would say there is a slight difference between band 6 and 7. Let's start taking some of the examples here. Why hedging is one band clear 7 and then how we can move to 8. Most IELTS candidates reach band 7 with good grammar and vocabulary. What stops them at band 7? Like why don't they move to band 8? Because they don't know, they don't understand about hedging. If you know about the hedging rules, so quite easily from 7 you can jump quite easily to band 8 and prevent band 7.5 or 8 is almost clear, is always what? Over claiming. So let's start taking the first example. We try to avoid certain things. Number one, you need to avoid absolute claim. If there is an absolute claim, so never write down your sentence with absolute claim. Why? Because that would be the examiner reaction signal weak critical thinking. If you try to use 100% claim, absolute claim, so examiner thinks clear that you give him a clear signal that your critical thinking is quite weak. Examiners think the writer hasn't considered exceptions. He hasn't considered exceptions because there could be some sort of exceptions as well. The second one, never use all, every, and always. Easy, clear, easy to disprove. Why? Because if you say all, so how can you claim about all? Examiners can think of counter examples instantly. Because if you have written all students, what if I write down any of the sentences like this? Students students will face problems or face challenges when they go abroad. Let's take this example. Now, most of the time, students they believe that I don't have any issue. There is no issue in this sentence, but examiner he can find out because this sentence is unhedged. Why? Because you have talked about students. Can I claim about students that all students clear? Can I say or what if I say all students? All students clear, all students will face challenges when they go abroad. No, we don't say it. We can say majority clear of clear majority. Instead of what? Instead of all, I change it to majority. Majority of students clear. Now I have written well. So well gives you what? 100%. Now you are 100% certain because if you try to use well, so you are sure, you are 100% sure that they will face problem. Instead of that, what we can say, majority of students often face challenges when they go abroad. Now, let's take this example and compare both of them. So, which one do you think is much better? The first one, clear, you are 100% certain that when they go abroad, clear, so students, they face problem. Now, that's unhedged and examiner, he doesn't like it, clear? So, examiner straight away, he will think of counter example that how is it possible? There might be people, there might be students that his or her father might live abroad, so he or she won't face any problem. So that's why what is more important for us, hedging is very important because it gives you a jump from band 7 to 8. And never use well, as I said, never use all. The first part, as I mentioned, never use all, every, always, don't use them. Never use well, as, or causes, because these clear comments you to 100% certainty, rarely true in social and political issues. So never use them, these words, in your sentences. What do we prefer? We prefer these three. Number one, we prefer hedged claim. There should be a claim, but that needs to be hedge claim. Show, clear. Examiners think this writer understands complexity. And this is what, you jump to band 8. Or you can use instead of well, you may say may. You may say tend to. You may say is likely to. Protect your argument, hard to attack. This is very important. For example, if I say, what if a student he writes like in this way? Politicians are corrupt. Now, don't you think you are you are too harsh with your words? How can you prove that politicians are corrupt? Instead of that, you can use hedge one. Politician, some politicians might be corrupt. Now, let's like if you compare both these sentences. So the first part one, like your claim is 100%, and that's what examiner he doesn't like. But the second one, clear, might be. And you have mentioned what? Some politician, not all. So that's what may, might, and you can use what? Some, many, and most cases. Acknowledges exceptions without weakening your point. نو دې کې به تاسو خیال کوئ چې مطلب 100% داسې جمله مو لیکه چې هغه 100% claim کوي ټیک شو. So the data band 6 essays average clear. If you try to use 0 to 1 hedging devices per paragraph, only one, or you don't use that, you may achieve only 6 band. If you try clear band 7, 2 to 3 hedging devices per paragraph, so you get what? 7. But if you try to use 4 to 6 hedging devices per paragraph, you get 7, 8 plus band. And band 9 essay, hedging appears in every claim. And every claim you try to use hedging. You don't clear sound 100% sure. You're not certain. Let's take like some of them. Every hedge clear contain one or more of these 4 components we will talk about. These are the 4 components. Understanding them let you build clear hedges on demand. Number 1, component number 1. So how we can use, what type of hedging devices we can use. वो दल तदा कतिल दी हमें ये देखना है कि हम कौन से कंपोनेंट्स ऐसे हैं कि that it gives you clear an edge, कि जो आपको बचा सकते हैं, कि मतलब आप 100% certain ना हो. So the first one, try to avoid, never use well. आपने कभी भी well नहीं इस्तेमाल करना अपने essay में. क्यों? क्योंकि 100% well is 100% and that's absolute claim, and absolute claim को आपने इस्तेमाल नहीं करना. Avoid for what? Predictions. Instead of that, what we can say is likely to, would. Instead of will, you can say would. So now it's 75%, so that's probable. But अगर आप ज्यादातर हम किस चीज को प्रेफर कर ले, may, might, could, clear, 50%, and is likely to, clear, is unlikely to, is likely to, so that's 25%, and you can say could, potentially, possibly. ठीक है, तो ये आप लोगों ने बजाय ये कि आप वेल इस्तेमाल करें, उनकी जगह आप लोग ये चीज इस्तेमाल किया करें. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, कंपोनेंट नंबर 2, एडवर्ब्स ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी एंड प्रोबेबिलिटी. आप हमेशा इस चीज को इस्तेमाल ना करें जो आपको 100% सर्टिनिटी की तरफ लेकर जाए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ऑलवेज. सो ऑलवेज हमारे पास क्या है? सो इट मीन्स 100%. तो उसकी जगह आप क्या इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं? ऑफन. Don't say always. Like students always face problem when they go abroad. So do you think like students always face problem when they go abroad? Instead of that, you can say students often face problems when they go abroad. So replaces 100% with most of the time. You can say frequently or often instead of well. Never use never. नेवर कभी भी नहीं इस्तेमाल करना क्योंकि 0% इसके लिए इस्तेमाल है. उसकी जगह आप लोगों ने क्या इस्तेमाल करना है? रेयरली. You can say seldom instead of never. आपने another one, clear, आपने all नहीं इस्तेमाल करना. Why? Because that's 100%. Replace that with most. You can say the majority of. फिर definitely आपने नहीं इस्तेमाल करना. definitely के जवाब आप क्या इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं? probably. clear. certainly आपने नहीं इस्तेमाल करना. आपने क्या? arguably, convincingly आपने ये इस्तेमाल करने. So now if you try to use instead of these words, so इसका मतलब है कि आप अपने लैंग्वेज को सॉफ्ट रखना चाहते हैं. नंबर 3, कंपोनेंट नंबर 3, हेजिंग वर्ब्स, रिपोर्टिंग सॉफ्टली. अब ये ना इस्तेमाल करें कि प्रूफ की जगह आप इस्तेमाल करें शोज, सजेस्ट, इंडिकेट्स. तो सॉफ्ट एंड कैजुअल क्लेम अगर आप प्रूफ लिखे तो वो 100% है. अब एज ना इस्तेमाल करें बिकॉज इफ यू ट्राई टू यूज एज, इसका मतलब है कि 100%. सो ट्राई टू यूज व्हाट? टेंड्स टू बी, अपीयर्स टू बी. काजेज ना इस्तेमाल करें, काजेज की जगह आप इस्तेमाल की कंट्रीब्यूट्स टू, इज लिंक टू. फोर्सेज ना इस्तेमाल करें, यू कैन से encourages. Okay, don't say forces. Students are forced. No, students are not forced. Students are encouraged. knows की जगह believes इस्तेमाल करें, argues इस्तेमाल करें. So try to use these hedging verbs. Component number 4, impersonal, clear framing phrases. Try not to use I think. Instead of I think, you can say it could be argued that. It could be argued that. Removes personal certainty. It iski jagah, it appears that. This proves, this suggests. Everyone knows, it is widely believed. And the answer is, you can say one possible explanation is. तो आप अपने लैंग्वेज में इस चीज की बेहतरी लेकर आए. Then section number 4 we have the 6 families of hedging devices. तो हमारे पास वो 6 hedging devices की जो families है जिसके थ्रू हम अपने लैंग्वेज को क्या कर सकते हैं, soften कर सकते हैं. तो उसमें नंबर 1 क्या आ सकते हैं? That's about model, soften. These are the words you can use. This policy may reduce crime. अगर आप ये कहे दिस पॉलिसी विल रिड्यूस क्राइम, तो ये गलत है. बिकॉज गलत नहीं है, 100% सर्टन है. तो आप उसकी जगह मैं इस्तेमाल किया करें. देन फ्रीक्वेंसी क्वांटिफायर्स ये वाले आप इस्तेमाल करें. द मोर यू कैन यूज, ट्राई टू यूज देम. गवर्नमेंट्स यूजुअली, क्लियर. अगर यूजुअली की जगह आप ऑलवेज लिख दे तो यह गलत है. गलत नहीं है, मतलब you are not, you are quite harsh. Then quantity limiters, some, many, certain, several, तो ये इस्तेमाल करे. ऑल की जगह ये इस्तेमाल. सॉफ्टनिंग वर्ब इस्तेमाल किया करे. Suggest, indicate, imply, appear to, clear. You can have picture out of it. And then number 6, अब distancing phrase इस्तेमाल किया करे. ठीक है. It could be argued that, it is widely believed that, some experts claim, according to some studies, from one perspective. ये इस्तेमाल करने की कोशिश करें. ठीक है. एंड देन नंबर 6, स्कोप नैरोइंग. इन सर्टन कॉन्टेक्स्ट आप ये इस्तेमाल करें. इन सर्टन कॉन्टेक्स्ट टूरिज्म डैमेजेस लोकल कल्चर. अब अच्छा, अब अगर मैं विदाउट दिस इफ आई यूज, अगर मैं इसके बगैर इस्तेमाल करूं, टूरिज्म डैमेजेस लोकल कल्चर, ठीक है, तो द वर्ड्स आर, आई एम साउंडिंग मोर 100% सर्टन. लेकिन व्हाट इफ आई यूज इन सर्टन कॉन्टेक्स्ट, तो ये काफी बेहतर है. एग्जामिनर को ये अच्छा लग रहा है कि वाओ गुड, you know, you understand how to use hedging. अच्छा जी, अब ये there are some of the sentences that we have changed them. If you try to read them, it will really help them. Number 1, technology destroys family communication. तो बजाय ये 6 बैंड के लिए, अब 8+ के लिए ये technology may negatively affect family communication in certain cases. अब देखिए, 2 hedging मैंने इस्तेमाल किया. मैं इस्तेमाल किया, and the second one, in certain cases. Fast food causes obesity, and I told you avoid causes. Fast food is one of the factors that contributes to obesity. Can you see? Is one of the factors that contributes to obesity. Poverty leads to crime. Poverty tends to be associated with higher crime rates. Leads to. All students benefit from homework. Most students appear to benefit. Social media is bad for teenagers. Social media can have negative effect on some, not on all. Some teenagers. The internet will replace books. The internet is likely to reduce reliance on printed books. Advertising manipulates consumer. Advertising can influence consumer choices is suitable way. And okay, can you see which countries should help poor countries? No, it could be argued that wealthier nations have a moral responsibility to assist developing countries. Now, if you keep reading all of them, it will really help you. अब इसे रीड करना शुरू कर दे, आपको अंदाजा होगा कि how it helps us. Okay, 5-step clear process to overcome absolute writing. Examiner, he doesn't like absolute writing. This is the practical method to fix your overclaiming habit. Use it every time you write. Number 1, spot the absolute claim. कोशिश करो कि इसे आप spot किया करें. Circle any sentence containing is, are, will, always, all, every, never, causes, proof. ये अल्फाज जहां पर भी तो उन्हें आप सर्कल करें. Social media destroys real life communication. Can you find destroy? इसे आप लोगों ने क्या करना है? Change करना है. Number 2, ask. Is this 100% true for 100% of cases? जब भी आप लोग कुछ भी लिखना चाहते हैं, ठीक है, तो आप ये याद रखें. What if someone says that students at Safi IELTS Studio get 8 band in IELTS? तो ये गलत है. Is this 100% true for 100 of cases? So that's not true. Ask yourself. You can say that majority of the students often achieve high band. क्लियर इट्स साफी एड स्टूडियो तो हमेशा ये क्या करे कि मतलब आप कोशिश करें इफ द आंसर इज नो एंड इट्स ऑलमोस्ट ऑलवेज इज यू मस्ट hedge. Does it destroy communication for everyone? This is what. So your answer is what? No. So some people use it to strengthen bonds. They don't use it, clear, to destroy real life communication, but they can also use it for to strengthen bonds. So now the next one, pick one hedging family. आप इसके बाद आपने क्या करना है कि वही जुमला था आपने अपने आप से पूछा now you can pick one of the hedging family. Choose the softening family that still support your point. Model will की जगह क्या इस्तेमाल करें यू कैन से मैं माइट फ्रीक्वेंसी वर्ब इस्तेमाल करें क्वांटिटी क्लियर एविडेंस बेस्ड और दैट्स अबाउट कंट्रोवर्शियल ओपिनियन ओरिजिनल तो आप लोगों ने इन चीजों में ये 6 पॉइंट जो अभी अर्लियर हमने पढ़े सो यू कैन सेलेक्ट एनी ऑफ द पॉइंट्स इज वी स्टडीड हियर दीज 6 पॉइंट्स दीज आर द 6 पॉइंट्स तो आप इन 6 पॉइंट में से किसी चीज को भी आप कोशिश करें कि आप यूटिलाइज करें प्रॉपर तरीके से दैट विल हेल्प यू we can rewrite the same sentence. How we can? Social media destroys real life communication. अब उसी चीज को हमने क्या ले? Social media can negatively affect real life communication for some users. Read aloud, clear? Does it still make your point? Good. Does it sound less aggressive? Which one is more aggressive? The first sentence is more aggressive than the second one. Perfect. This is band 8 clear plus register and that's what examiner he wants from you. Let's take some of the practical examples please. Can you read them? Read the first one. Video games make children violent and how you can change that. Read this one now. Read the first sentences, 5 first sentences by yourself. Okay, so after that, the hedging balance, don't over hedge. Keep in your mind one thing more that warning. Too much hedging makes you sound weak, clear, indecisive, and wishy-washy, clear. So make sure that whenever you want to use, so don't overuse hedged. So because it becomes quite weak. It could perhaps possibly be argued by some that clear maybe social media might potentially possibly clear have some kind of effect on certain individual in some context under certain conditions. Problem. Reader has no idea what you actually think. Now this everywhere you have hedged because it's over hedged. So this is band 5, nuclear position. So make always sure that keep hedging balanced. Balance hedging is important, and that's the perfect idea. For example, social media can have negative effects on young people, particularly when usage exceeds 3 hours daily. Now, clear position, negative effect, but scoped and hedged can particularly when. So this is what band 8 structure. So there are 1, 2 rule. Use a maximum of 1 or 2 hedging devices per sentence, not more than that. Per sentence, you can either use 1 or maximum 2. More than that kills clarity. So, what can be the good example and bad one? Fast food may contribute. Hedging device, contribute, hedging device, obesity, clear, and sedentary individuals. So now we have used 2 hedging. Now, fast food might, perhaps, possibly, can you see, contribute to somewhat to potential increase in obesity and some sedentary individual under certain condition. So you have used 7 hedges. And this is what examiner he notices, and that's bad way. Instead of बजाय दिए कि score ज्यादा उल्टा वाले base score कमीगी. When not to hedge, this is what we need to understand. Keep these statements absolute. Your thesis statement, जो आपका thesis statement है, so never hedge. I agree that government should fund public transport. Strong position. It's clear. So the thesis statement should not be hedged. Number 2, factual or historical statement. The internet was invented in the 20th century. So you cannot say that internet might be invented. No, it doesn't need hedging because it's factual or historical statement. You can use scientific clear. Then human activities are the primary causes of clear recent climate change. So it's absolute and you can use perfectly, no need of hedging. And then logical definition, education is the process of acquiring knowledge. So something that's, if there is a definition and that it's a logical something, so don't hedge it. Try to use exactly the same it is. Now let's start taking, complete full paragraphs. Suppose the paragraph is about technology and this is your first paragraph. And this one is unhedged paragraph. If you read the first one and then try to read the second one, then you will find clear difference between both these paragraphs. Can you start reading it, please? First of all, the first one and then the second one. Okay, have you read it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so hedges used. So what do you think, the first paragraph and the second paragraph, which one do you think, the first paragraph or the second one? Without hedge, unhedged one or hedged one?
Hedged one.
Hedged. And this is how you write for 8 plus band. Even students, they reach to 6.5 or 7, but they're not capable to achieve higher than that because they don't know this hedging strategies. Clear? This is secret weapon for 8 plus band. Now,
Sir, we can use for every essays, like
yes,
in every
yeah, in every
and
essay, any type of essay, you can use that.
okay.
Now, for example, it's about education. Can you read both and then try to understand both the first one and the second one? Standardized tests are bad for students. Now, can you see how straightforward and 100 it sounds 100% certain? Standardized tests have been criticized for several reasons. So a little bit change in your wording clear to keep your words soft and clear can improve your overall band score. Keep reading one sentence and then keep comparing with the unhedged and hedged sentences. Then you will understand there will be a big difference you may find out. Okay, next. You may take picture out of it, please. Then you can read by your own. Take pictures of it, please. Once you are done, let me know. I can show you another example. Finished?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's move to the next.
Work from debate.
Clear? Is it clear now?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is what like you people need to understand, clear the difference between, and this is the final words, clear, but anyhow, that's clear. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will study about chapter number 15. That's all about word formation, inshallah, clear. This chapter, inshallah, we'll study tomorrow. Do you
Uh,
think like the topic we studied yesterday, that was relative pronouns and today hedging. So do you think it helps you now?
yeah, inshallah.
Yes.